John Frost looked on the gathered crowd, now 3,000 strong. With heavy heart, his voice rang loud as he sang this loveless song. God is a guide from field, from wave, from plough, from anvil, and from loom. We come our country's rights to save and speak a tyrant faction's doom. We raise the watchword liberty. We will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. And bobbies took an oath to be our nation's warders, swearing that they would enforce Sir Robert's Rules of Order. To Newport rose a million friends who rallied each supporter to join this flood of working men against Robert's Rules of Order. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. Like this, on the steps of Parliament, John Frost stood proud and tall. A hush fell on this great event as he told them one and all, depose the gentry and the crown, depose the House of Lords, or join the Queen in exile by Robert's Rules of Order. So Chartists, Luddites, Communists, recall each faithful martyr who died so you could have your new world Robert's Rules of Order. Say it loud, vote your favor, shout it high. All in favor, you say aye. Favor, aye, favor. Aye. A mandate of the people's cry. Favor, aye, favor. Aye. Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed, you say nay. Opposed, opposed. The motion carries anyway. Currents change and bring to us our tear-corrupted warder. In chains subdued and ill-abused, he's left with no supporters. Mobility's will can then proceed by our own rules of order. And we'll all cheer for country's sake when Robert's drawn and quartered. Well, when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament shall be reborn with Robert's Rules of Order!
Okay, I gotta make sure we can bring Mike on. This has been a while. I do have that other scene set up, but we didn't test this before we started. So let's go right there without further ado. Let me make sure. No, that isn't both. Wait, this should be both of us. Mike, where are you? Let me try. I gotta bring you on. Hold on, let me assign you. Let's see, add right. Will that work?
There he is.
I thought I had it set up. It's been a while.
That's how you turn me on.
What a giant head you have. Hold on. I could probably make mine a little bigger too. Let me see here. Digital zoom.
No, giant head I am. That's what she said.
I gotta go down to my seat a little. No. Ooh. Okay, that's closer. That's closer. That's a bit better. And yes, this shirt is ancient. This is from the time of the year of the mix. Look, still it's got holes in it.
And to be fair, Annie Lennox is still rocking it in their 70s.
Yeah, but let me tell you, this thing's got all kinds of holes in it. Shit. You can tell the neckline. The neckline's all stretched out.
It's a blessing shirt.
Yeah, and Lucy's mad at me. I don't know why. She's over here sulking in the corner. Each time I try to get her to look up, she gives me a look. I don't know.
You're not giving her enough attention.
And I do have crazy bedhead because as I was telling you, I did come right from a nap to here.
Yeah, but the repinking looks good.
There's wait, where is it? The little bit of white. You see that? It's no here. Wayne missed the spot a little bit. See,
it's an age accent.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to get my hair a little. That didn't help. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Okay, so what we're gonna be talking about is just Miss. So I gotta give people a backstory to this. So I've been studying, though not nearly quite as much as I should be, for PRP, which I'm planning on taking in May. Whether that happens or not, it's an entirely different thing. But I've been going through you can download from the National Association of Parliamentarians. None of this part is secret because they do have secret study materials, which Mike knows because I've talked to him before where I'm like, I can't tell you. Remember, I was like, I'm so frustrated and I can't tell you why. But this stuff is, you can download it. And it's just basically, if you're going to parse out your study time, it's the same thing. It is the RP stuff. I'm going through the RP stuff again, just to be sure,
Sure.
This is actually in the RP portion. And it's like the read through the Bible in a year program where it just tells you to read like these weird, they're not weird, but it's like just
Obscure.
tiny chunks of Roberts at a time. And it kind of jumps around a bit, but you end up learning things.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's not the most scintillating read, sorry everybody. So I'm glad it isn't like reading 50 pages at a time. But it's been helpful because as I'm reading it and I'm just forced to read, just like 3 pieces, I read it carefully because it's not that long. And I've been finding, and I do have stray hairs all over the place. And I do have a little bit of pink dye. I'm sorry. That's just like so close on my face. And I found things that I didn't know before. So what I do, of course, is I just text and I say, I don't even say anything. I'm just like, look at 15:8. That's all I say. Like, no intro, nothing. Mike's at work. He hears ding, and then hears, look at 15, which is, in fact, one of them. And I don't even remember what they were.
I bring it up in the digital version on my phone and say, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I figured if I didn't know it, it's not necessarily true, because I know things Mike doesn't. Mike knows things I doesn't. That's just the way it is. But I figured if I found it odd, that Mike probably would too, or might be interested in it, because there's not many friends.
I go, WTF, yeah.
Yeah, there's not many friends you could just text, hey, want to look at Robert's 15:8 with me?
Is that a gavel in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me?
Yeah. Though I do need to tell you something funny. There's someone I met on the Roberts forum. I don't know what their real name is because, it's a lot of people don't use their real names there. I thought he was from the LP. Okay. If you go and read the thread, if you've been reading it recently, you'll know exactly what thread I'm talking about.
I've been off of there for a little while, so.
Yeah, me too. And Dan said something nasty to me yesterday. So, and this time I was just like, care to explain? Because it's one reason why I don't post there, because he's just so. And yes,
Cranky.
I was being a bit sarcastic too. I will own that. I'll tell you. We might as well talk about this. So, because a lot of people don't know this, motions to approve the minutes are not necessary.
Okay. Right.
Most people don't know that, and the reason being is because there isn't an option not to approve the minutes. If you think it needs corrections, you can refer it to a committee to come back with recommendations. The only thing that's really in order is to make corrections or perhaps refer to a committee. But you can't just you can't have a motion to approve the minutes. It gets voted down and then that's it. Right. That's not an option.
Yeah.
So Robert says that a motion to approve the minutes is not necessary. This was actually in the advanced form too, and I didn't think this was particularly advanced. It's not necessary, but it's not prohibited. So I said, why isn't it prohibited?
Yeah.
If there's no right, because I'm like, if there's no option to vote it down, why just, he goes, so Dan said to me, well, the chair just ignores it and moves on. And I said, then why not just prohibit it? Oh, so you're going to go through this waste of time of the chair going, it's prohibited? I I think it's a lot less waste of time than allowing a member to make a motion and you just ignore it and move on. Don't you think the member's going to have something to say about that? Wait,
Yes. And who knows what happens if someone tries to, I say, amend the motion.
it is just like, you can't just ignore some. If it's prohibited, at least the chair could say, I'm sorry, that motion's out of order, whatever. But it says it's not prohibited, so it's not out of order. So what does the chair do? Just ignore it? And I go, that's a bigger waste of time. Why don't you just say it's in the book that it's prohibited? And he just thought it was the dumbest thing, because he always tries to make me feel dumb, and I don't know what it is.
You got to realize something about Hahnemann. Okay, as one of the co-authors of this hobgoblin mess called Roberts, he doesn't like it when somebody questions why something was written the way it was in his little baby book. Even though the fact he could probably take Roberts and simplify it down a lot easier and without going to Roberts in brief and clean up a lot of weird, obscure crap like what we talk about.
But you see what? I'm like, that doesn't save time. So I said, and I was being a little bit saucy. I said, you and I must go to entirely different kinds of meetings. But I meant that as not.
Well, that's probably a true statement.
Well, okay, now you're siding with him. I'm going to have to come to Alabama and punch you.
You don't go to Question Anonymous.
No, but still, I meant it. I meant it saucy. I did. But I also didn't mean it seriously, because I don't think there's any kind of meeting that you could go to and the chair just ignores the motion and everyone just moves on and nobody says anything about it.
That's really not in our party.
I don't think in any, certainly not in the LP, but not in any. So he said just what you said. So maybe I'm wrong to be offended. He goes, I have no doubt that's true. But it made me feel little. It made me feel like oh,
he
yeah.
Likes to do that. He just likes to do that.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just being a baby. I could have been up in my feels or whatever.
He likes to talk down to people, especially ones he doesn't like. He doesn't like either one of us because we bring different perspectives and ask questions he doesn't like to answer. He got pissed at me a couple months ago because I pointed out something rather obvious. Roberts was written by an engineer, not a lawyer. Lawyers are taking it over. That's part of the problem.
I don't even think he doesn't, you remember when him and I first got into it, because he didn't like that I asked why Roberts isn't more gender neutral. And he did not like that because he didn't know me at the time and he thought I was some kind of like bra burning, rad feminist or something. I thought it was a perfectly fair question. Because it always showed me crazy, to be honest, when Hannah Goodman would refer to herself as chairman. Like, you're not a man. Like, chair is shorter. Like, I'm not even saying go chairwoman. You don't need chairwoman and chairman and all of that. Just chair. Why?
The leadership of the NAP lately?
Just say chair. It's shorter. It's easier, and you don't get into that. And then remember, I asked him, and I think this is where he got a little weird with me, but this does come up in LP stuff. The madam and the mister thing. I go, well, what about non-binary people? And it's a valid question. Whether or not you agree that's a thing, I don't care about any of that. The fact is you need to deal with realities in meetings. And the whole point of Roberts is not to offend people, to keep the temperature down and all of that.
So and functional. Yeah.
Right. It's not there to argue gender politics or any of that. So I finally, and me, Joshua Katz jumped in. So we agreed, at least with LP meetings, it's probably safer to say, like at a convention, particularly if you don't know, Delegate Harlos or Delegate Seebeck, not Miss, Mr. or whatever.
Unless it's so flamingly obvious and nobody knows it,
Yeah. And this doesn't happen very often, but I remember when, well, I'm dating myself now. I'm not a spring chicken, but I remember when Miss and Ms., there was still a lot of people who still used Miss. And there were some more traditional women who did not like being called Miss.
Oh, they use Miss everywhere here in the South, whether you're a Miss, a Ms, or Mrs. It drives Lydia crazy.
and they'd be offended by Ms.
Yeah.
And if someone was a Mrs., they
Uh-huh.
would get, so it's not
That's
just even.
Lydia's comment is, I'm a Mrs. I earned that. I gave birth. I earned that title.
So that's not today. That's not as big. I never was
Yeah.
offended by it, and I'm not offended when people call me Ms. Harlos rather than Mrs. or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. So this isn't even a new thing. Anyway, let's whatever. I'm back posting a little bit there.
Madam is just an old crusty old man who doesn't like his little playground trampled on by new people. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think though that maybe I was just being a bit of a baby. I could be a baby. You know that. You've seen me be a baby.
Yeah, but for the same token, he needs to recognize that not everything that this question about Roberts is pointed out as a problem is a personal affront to him.
Well,
What
so
he should be
hopefully
doing
people.
is to fix it.
Well, so hopefully people learn today that you don't need a motion to approve the minutes. The minutes are approved. If there are no corrections, the minute there's no more corrections, the chair should pause and say the minutes are approved, or the minutes as amended are approved.
Yeah.
And I said something wrong that I don't know if you saw my correction on Twitter. And I was told wrong, and this was by a PRP at a class, but we all get things wrong. What was it? Crap. Oh, the name of the original maker of the motion does have to be in the minutes. Remember I said, I just learned that the name of the original maker doesn't have to be in the minutes. Remember I said that, and you even questioned me on that. And I brought that up to some other peer, and they're like, no, who told you that? And I'm like, I learned that at an official National Association of Parliamentarians class. And they're like, no, that's not correct. And the person said it in complete good faith, but you know how you pick up bad habits and then you think they're true and you're saying them for 20 years. Well, that's not true. You do have to put the name of the original. I mean, it makes sense. Now I feel stupid that I believed it.
Well, that's kind of what Robert says in the examples.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I even said it.
It's the seconds you don't need to put on.
Right. But I even said that in the class. I go, that's confusing though, because in all of these examples, it says the name of the maker. In any event. So let's go to 15.8, because that was actually one of the things I asked you to look up. So here are the just couple oddities. And if anyone has anything in comments they wish to say, let us know, as long as it's not terribly common. There's nobody yet so far.
Yeah. 15.8 deals with limit or extending limits of debate and the motions to which it applies.
Okay, so what did I find?
We're getting into the weeds here.
What did I find? Okay, this is what I found so
page
interesting.
182.
Yeah, so this is what I found so interesting here. So I'm going to read the whole paragraph. So unless otherwise specified in the motion to limit or extend limits of debate. So what that is, by the way, is Roberts allows you, this is way too much. I don't know. They need to correct this. I think this is from like way back in the ye old days when people didn't have anything else to do, where you could speak 2 times for up to 10 minutes on any motion. Nobody wants that. Like, I think this is 1800s thing, I think, because there ain't nobody who's got an attention span like that today. So, but you can limit that, and special rules of order tend to do that, like our Colorado ones, what's it, 2 minutes or something per speech, or extend limits. And extend limits isn't generally, let's let everyone talk 20 minutes a time. It's usually to say people can speak more than twice. And we actually have that in Colorado's rules too. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. we had that a little bit on that one.
Yeah,
sorry, I turned away because there's a frog croaking outside the window. I'm like, what the heck?
So what we have in Colorado, I actually think we should have in national. And I actually think other affiliates, what I'm specifically thinking of is we limit it to 2 minutes, but we say that the original maker gets to speak one time, and it might just be for 1 minute, even after the previous question has been ordered.
So you get the last
Because
word like in the field from a chair. Yeah.
because I always thought it was unfair, you know? Like, I don't know, 1 minute, you might as well, but we have that in Colorado's rules. And it was something that I had put
I
in
think
there
we should
because,
make an adjustment to say that you can either debate or you can call the question, but you can't do both.
yeah, I hate that. And you're allowed to do it. A lot of people don't
I'm
know that.
guilty of it every once in a while. I did it at Grand Rapids once, and
I've done it a couple
that was on the
times.
bylaw proposal about the extending out the credentials and the bylaws committee times.
I've done it a couple times and I felt like a real asshole each time I did it too, to be honest with you. And I
If I did
remember
exactly like that, I
yelling,
really want to pass.
I yelled at someone at a Colorado convention for doing that too. I was completely indecorous. I probably
Yeah.
very rightly could have been asked to leave for a little while because he did it. And I yelled out, "Stop being an asshole." I hate when people do that. It is so, you're that guy, but you're allowed to.
That one calls for a Spaceballs clip.
You're
I knew it. I was
allowed to do
surrounded,
it.
I knew it. I
Okay,
was
so
surrounded by assholes.
unless otherwise specified in the motion to limit or extend limits of debate, its effect on the debate of motions that may subsequently become pending is as follows. An order limiting debate applies not only to the motion on which the limitation is ordered, but also to any debatable subsidiary motion. So the main motion, a
And
motion to
amendments.
amend, a motion to commit, whatever that
Right.
apply to it. But also, no, I already had that. Motions to reconsider or
That's the part that goes crazy. But keep going.
or debatable appeals that may become pending subsequently when the order is in a force. So if there's a point, so say you limited debate, everyone can
Yeah.
only talk one time for 1 minute, and there's a
Right.
point of order somewhere after that. That
Yeah.
applies to that too, which I found interesting. On the other hand, so this is only for limiting debate. So there's
Right.
two different rules.
Okay.
For,
Let's put a pin on that for a moment here.
okay.
Okay. When I read through this, I saw this and I'm going, what in the bloody hell are they thinking? Because if you are trying to limit debate and it says it applies to a motion to reconsider, that means somewhere down the road, there's got to be a retention of the fact that this debate limit was applying to that motion to be reconsidered in the first place. Somewhere that's got to be kept score. And if it's not, well, then you're not doing this. And that's just crazy because it could happen way later and totally forget about it.
What do you mean it could happen way later?
Well, like say, for example, it's an early motion in the meeting, say like the first 10 minutes just to make something up here. And you go through, let's say you limit the debate because you want to get this thing out of the way and you got a lot to get done. So you go on to the rest of the meeting and blah, 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 blah. Something happens along the way and makes you realize, oh, this was a bad idea back at the beginning. I want to move to reconsider this. You got to keep track of that limit of debate from the previous for the reconsider and to bring it back again. How are you going to do that?
Well, a good secretary will excuse me, have that. But
It's not in the minutes.
but I think it applies to what you're saying. I think what it more immediately applies to is like, so I'm trying to think of in a series of subsidiary motions.
Yeah.
Some of them are reconsiderable, so it might not be to the main motion, but the motion to reconsider. But I'm trying to think of which ones that would apply to. Well, you could reconsider an amendment.
Yep.
So it would apply to that, I think. But I think you're correct. Yes, later on in the.
Yeah. It's got to be kept track of somewhere, and that's
That's your
where the crazy comes.
that's your secretary's job.
Well, that's
Okay.
actually the parliamentarian's job, but anyway.
So you have those rules for limiting debate.
Yeah,
But you have different ones for extending limits of debate, which can
and
be more
that's the other
time,
problem. But keep
more
going.
turns. So, on the other hand, an order extending limits of debate, or one that does both, it both limits and extends limits, such as by limiting the length of each speech to 2 minutes while allowing each member to speak 3 times the same day on the question, applies only to the debate of the pending motions on which it is ordered.
And that's simple. It applies to what you're dealing with, and that's it.
Right.
There's no carry through. It's just there. And granted, if you have if it applies to that motion, you have an amendment. Yeah, it'll apply to the amendment also because you're dealing with it at the time. But it's not carrying through later on for reconsideration or an appeal and
But it's not
having
even carrying
legal
on
court and
for
all that stuff.
but it's not even carrying on for subsidiary motions.
That's a fair point. It does say it doesn't say that.
Right. It says unlike the and it's just weird to have. To me, I shouldn't say this. Actually, I should stick this on my bucket. I'm sticking this on my bucket list because I think my bucket is empty. I've done a motion to reconsider and enter on the minutes. I've done a motion to expunge. I think I've done all my. I think my bucket list now is to raise a point of order that no way. This is a motion that extends the limits of debate. And someone tries to say they could talk 3 times on an amendment, and I'll be like,
I don't think so.
15-8, bitches.
See, this is one of these cases where I look at Roberts and I go, they tried to get too cute and failed miserably.
It's
Because if
just
they're, it's like a double standard, and this is an area where they could clean it up for consistency's sake and make it a lot easier to deal with and avoid a lot of headaches.
I don't know why it doesn't. I would love to hear the logic as to why the rule isn't the same for both. I can't come up with something. I wish Richard was in the audience because I'm sure he would come up with something.
To me, the simple answer is that have the rules on it for the extending limits apply is the same in both directions. That's the
Yes,
simple
yes,
handle.
yes.
You know, if they want to
Because
limit debate on a reconsider, then do it at the time you're reconsidering.
it's
You
just
know,
the so that when I sent that to you, I was like, that was something I never knew before, and I
it's
know some obscure things at
yeah,
conventions. So remember what I don't remember who it was. It might have been Mr. Gosling. I can't remember. Tried to call up my motion to reconsider and enter on the
yeah.
minutes, but the reconsideration before I was ready. And I was ready with that rule. I'm like, no, excuse me. The
Yeah,
maker has the privilege of
one has that
deciding.
privilege.
And,
Yeah.
here's Whitaker up on stage. He goes, and Aaron Starr appealed that, like, and he didn't get a second. That's
We
happened
saw that back
twice
and
to
forth.
Aaron. Uh, that's happened twice to Aaron over the time I've been to
You
conventions.
know,
How do you
it
now?
happened twice in the convention. I read the minutes.
And now you need 20 standing seconds. So this is going to happen more often where motions will die for lack of enough seconds. But Aaron
Yeah,
now has gotten not even
we finally muzzled him. Yay!
that one. I
My
was
days of
unquestionably right. I was unquestionably
my
right
days
on
of
that one.
of course you were.
There are ones that are iffy. That one wasn't
I was
iffy.
talking with Whitaker after he meant this in election. He got up on the podium and explained how obscure and how different it was. And afterwards, I'm like, man, that's going deep. He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to be fair.
But
I got to be fair. I like the guy. Okay.
oh, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he expected that motion to come up. Oh, but I forgot to tell you what I wanted to tell you about the Roberts form. Well, before we went off on that last thing. So if you go and read it recently, there
Yeah.
is a discussion about some group. I have no idea what group it is. In the post, it says it was a political group. So of course I'm thinking LP, because there's a
Of course.
lot of LP people there. It's not LP, by the way, because I had a private conversation with this person.
Yeah.
So there's some political group where they keep trying, you're going to laugh when you hear this, over and over and over to remove somebody. And I'm thinking to myself, what makes me believe that it's not the LP? So we can feel pretty good now, because if you read that post, you'll think it's the LP too.
Oh, you're gonna laugh at this one. I've got my old HOA out there is trying to remove 2 board members because of a bunch of bullshit. Don't know how to describe it. But here's the thing: they trashed the bylaws that I had rewritten on them back towards the beginning of the year, and replaced them with this other set that is absolutely pathetic, does not reference Roberts or any type of procedural thing whatsoever. It's missing half the details it needs. And they're trying to claim that they can do all this stuff. And I'm going, and then they say, oh, of the 5-member board to throw somebody off, you need a 4-to-1 vote, and they're trying to remove 2 members. It's like, good gods.
Plus, I thought okay, you lived like out in the sticks. How do you?
It
Removing
was there
2
when we
people.
got there 27 years ago.
No, but what I'm saying is it's tiny. Like, how are you having all that drama in a tiny little
Because
HOA?
because the current president of the board is a Democrat who thinks that she knows how to do everything, and she doesn't have a damn clue.
Okay. So now our
Me,
next one.
me down there,
I'm sorry.
I wasn't around the block. I saw the block being built. So
Yeah. Okay. We're going to go our next one here. I don't do HOA shit. I don't even go to.
I
I've
don't
been
blame you.
tempted. I've
The
been
only reason
tempted,
we have
though.
one down there is because so that somebody else doesn't put a worse one in.
And I've heard that story quite a few times,
Yeah.
too. But I've
Here,
never
where
even
I'm
been.
at in Alabama, we don't have that problem. Thank God.
So 1656 is the other one I sent to
Yes.
you.
Standard descriptive characteristics of previous question.
Okay. So, and it was 6. I don't remember
Yeah.
what I found so interesting about this. It's
Is
not
not
a
amendable,
it's not amendable. Okay, we know that.
which is fine. It makes sense. Yeah.
However, it has a special characteristic that permits an effect similar to an amendment when the motion is applied when a series of questions is pending. Okay. When a motion for the previous question is immediately pending in such a case,
Oh
it can
yeah.
be made again with more or fewer pending questions
Right.
included before the first motion for the previous question is voted on. This is so obscure. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone is listening and going, "What does that even mean?" I feel
I can
your
explain it.
pain.
I can explain it. If a motion is made, if let's say you have a bunch of questions stacked up, like a main motion, an amendment, a motion to commit, a motion to postpone indefinitely, all of which can be pending at the same time. And all of a sudden, somebody decides that they're going to call, say, one question. You can
Call the previous question,
calling previous question before it
which
goes
would
to
have
a vote. Someone
so
can
so
say, "Oh, I'm going to call all previous questions," or the
right.
opposite can happen. Calling all previous questions, I just want to call this one, and that allows just going around to amendment. They treat it like a fill in the blank. That's what they're saying here.
Yeah, but
It's
I've never seen this.
it's nobody. It's rare. I mean, it's goofy.
I don't think anyone knows they can do this because it goes
I don't
on.
think
So say there's you got a sandwich of 4 pending questions. It can
Yeah,
happen. It usually isn't that many, but let's say you have that.
yeah.
So someone moves the immediately previous question, which is just
The
the
top one.
immediately next one.
Yeah,
And then as you say, someone wants to move all previous questions. But it says that someone else can then stand up. No, I want to move only the previous one and the one immediately following it. And someone goes,
Right.
no, I just want to do the next 3, but still have debate on the last
The last
one.
one.
All
Right.
of you could do all of those. So this is what it
And they're in
says
order.
happens.
They're in order, as long as you get
Yeah.
them in the right spot.
Well, and I've never seen this. Put this on my bucket list too. I want to do this. I want to do
This
this.
is why I say that parliamentarians need to play D&D or Magic the Gathering to
I've played
understand how
D&D.
stacks work, because this is where it really comes into
Oh,
play.
so it says the procedure resembles filling the blanks, except that each of the motions made by a member who has obtained the floor, each must be seconded. In one of our conventions, they'd need 20 seconds. For
Right.
example, if one member has made this motion in the unqualified form, which would just mean the immediately previous question, when a series
Right.
of question is pending, so that it would apply only to the question immediately pending at the time, another member can move it on part of the series,
Uh-huh.
and still another can move it on all pending questions. The
Right.
vote is taken first on the motion that would order the previous question on the largest number of motions. If this fails, then on the next smaller number, and so on until one is adopted by a 2/3 vote, or until all of the motions for the previous question are rejected. I never heard of this ever.
But the
Did you know
sequencing there
this?
makes perfect sense. No, I did not. But the
Yes,
sequencing there makes perfect sense. It's like,
but
call all of them? No. What about these 3? No. These 2? No. This one?
yeah,
No. Okay, we're not calling anything. Go back to what we were doing.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that makes,
The sequencing makes sense because that's how blanks are done too. The
yeah.
the like when it's a dollar amount, the largest dollar amount is voted on
Yeah.
first.
Right.
But how many times this, because previous
I've
question,
never seen
that's,
it.
I know it's a basic thing. This isn't advanced Roberts. Previous question, call the question,
Yeah.
bitches. I mean, it's even in our
People,
show.
people are used to either one or everything, but not in the middle, And here this covers in the middle.
Yeah, that I've got to do this. I have to. I
You
don't
gotta get
even
the
care
right
if I care.
you gotta get
I,
the right combination of things to do it.
I'm telling you, at the next LP convention, I got to do this because Evan, I hope Evan's not. Evan, if you're watching the show, you better be prepared. I'm doing this. I got to check this off. We never limit or extend limits of debate in the LP, except for it because it's usually in a standing rule already. So
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever have an opportunity to use that first one we talked about. But
Right.
LP bitches sure love the previous question. We
Oh yes.
love the hell out of the previous question. So we're going to have a chance. You or I have to do this.
You gotta
We
get the
have
right
to.
timing to make it work. Because the thing about
Maybe,
it is, and this is the crazy, we're all used to either all or nothing and not in the middle. This is why it's kind of obscure to us. I mean, what they're doing makes sense and it accommodates the other cases, but again, how often does it happen? It doesn't
yeah.
happen much.
Yeah. And I thought that was fascinating. So,
Because here's the other piece of the problem, okay, which they don't mention here. Okay, if you've got a stack of motions and you're moving to call previous question on part of that stack, and that motion to call the question on the partial stack passes, and even on a full stack for that matter, which precedences have to be voted on first in that stack versus the ones that are later? That's the other piece of the puzzle.
right.
Because if you have like a privileged or a subsidiary or an incidental all mixed in there, you got to keep those priorities straight as well.
Yes.
Once
And
you agree on how you're calling it.
I've actually just been memorizing that shit because you know how I would always be like, oh, fuck, I can never.
Yeah.
I've just been memorizing it. Have you been doing that?
No, and I should be, but I've also been buried in other details. I have a professional career licensing CE I've got to worry about, which is taking up my time.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, I
yeah,
got to
I
spend $800 for a ridiculous test that there's no guarantee I would pass because it's a pain in the ass. VCE is a
and
better way to work it.
and I've memorized the subject matter. Obviously, each one the contents are different
Right.
of the is it 7 or 8 standard descriptive characteristics for every
It
motion.
it varies. Sometimes there's only 6, but
Is it? Which I don't think so. Where I think
I could have sworn I
it's
saw one that was only 6. But
no, I think it's all it's funny because
and
I'd have to
generally,
count them.
it's precedence, application, whether
Precedence, application, can it interrupt? Does it need a
ordering,
second?
second being
Is it
debatable, amendable, and threshold.
threshold and reconsiderable?
Yeah, usually that's what it is. They
Yeah.
try to get it
And
closer to that over time. We'll
yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Can it be reconsidered? So
Or renewed.
I'm gonna test you right now. I'm gonna put you on the spot. So for
Uh-oh.
subsidiary motions.
First
So
of all,
starting with
say it 5 times fast,
yes.
or you can't
So
hear the question.
you got your main motion, which is the lowest.
Yes.
What's next?
Then your subsidiaries to amend or things like that.
Yep. But
But
what's the next
along the
one?
way, above that, well, there's also there's incidentals which are not necessarily just main motions, which can come into play, and there's also the privileged ones which take priority
Right.
over everything.
But I'm talking about just the subsidiary ones to a main motion. So a main motion, what's
Yes,
the one immediately above that one?
it's a secondary motion.
No,
Right.
I'm talking about the actual name. So the
You
highest
mean
of the
like
subsidiary motions is lay on the table.
you're asking for that.
Yes.
That's why we have cheat cards.
I know, but I'm testing you. I'm testing you. I know this one. You
Yeah,
can't
you
cheat
know
and
which one.
look. I'm trying to test you.
See, this is why these cards exist. The
I
problem
know.
is, and this is a bitch that I had taken up to the NAP folks, and I said, look, memorization doesn't do it anymore. We live in a world where it's not what you know, but how to find it. What's what matters.
So you
And
don't know.
well, I haven't been working on it lately either. So
I know. I'm just fucking with you. You know that.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. But the point of it is that they got. I've been yelling at them to fix their test because their test is just
It,
dorked on it because
that's one of the things you just got to memorize.
the world is not a
Unfortunately.
closed book exam, and I told them that directly.
Yeah,
I told
I
them, I said,
know.
look, when I'm doing conventions, I've got a digital copy in front of me, I have a paper copy in front of me, and I can cross-reference everything in a fast order. But the test doesn't do that. Why? Because the test doesn't reflect reality. There's not a
It's just
parliamentarian alive who walks into a convention or a meeting empty-handed. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way.
so. Did you listen to my JC thing last night?
I didn't actually.
Justin O'Donnell was freaking hilarious. He submitted an amicus. He submitted the ones for the 6 state affiliates that just couldn't seem to figure out that
Yeah.
you can't send. And he was he basically said something to the fact that I'm submitting this to show how utterly incompetent they are at following just a basic one rule. And if they can't do that, they certainly can't be trusted to interpret complex bylaws.
No, I was. What was I doing last night? We were out getting a couples massage, so because we had a
Ooh la
long day
la.
working. Oh yeah, we occasionally spoil ourselves, but no, I've been interacting with Ken Melman because there was a problem with their portal page. I found out what the problem was. It wasn't anything wrong with there was a bug with their portal. Whenever you do a verify your email, will send two codes at the same time. That's been fixed. But then I
Okay.
figured out the other problem was that it wasn't loading on my phone. Well, it turns out that when I ran it on the computer, the laptop, it ran just fine. So
It's not
something with
mobile friendly.
Android, exactly. It was like Android problem. It wasn't the page itself.
It doesn't work
So I
on
let it
iPhone
know
either.
later.
It's not
Yeah,
Android. It's a mobile problem.
yeah. So I let them
Several
know, but
people
But that was all technical stuff. It wasn't even an issue of, amicus or not. It was, hey, technical
Yeah.
problems with the page. No, okay, we're good. And Ken's pretty good about communicating on that. It's like, oh, technical problem. Okay, let's figure it out.
Okay, well, that's all I had. Did you have any obscurities that you wanted to bring up?
Not that I'd have running around, but I do have a very bad joke.
Oh, God. I don't have alcohol. All I have is caffeine.
I'm actually working. I found this yesterday. It's a pecan flavored root beer. It's actually pretty good.
Pecan?
Yeah. It actually pecan. It tastes like
pecan.
No, that's pecan. Trust me. But it tastes like somebody put a root beer float over butter pecan ice cream. It's pretty good.
Okay. All right. So
What's the joke?
Oh, I was trying to get away from that. Okay.
In Greek mythology, it is widely believed that Helen of Troy was the most beautiful woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't. Who was? The answer is Medusa. Now, the question is, why? Because she can make any man hard in seconds.
Oh my God, Mike.
If you know, you know.
Oh my God. Okay. On that note. So you'll have to come up, unless I come up with some more obscurities. I haven't really been studying this past week. I need to. It just occurred to me. I'm like, shit.
I've been fighting battles everywhere. I got the state of Alabama claiming I owe them $1,000 in taxes when it's like, no, you owe me $60. You improperly disallowed a deduction.
Let me tell you, I've been looking at some of the material for PRP. I don't know. I'm like feeling deeply, deeply insecure. So we'll see. I'll probably take it several times.
Just bring your parliamentary emotional support animal with you. She's not down on the cushion.
Yeah. Well, listen,
you will look like what?
My attitude is, if I don't pass it the first time, I'll just keep trying. It's just the cost. It's the cost to me. It's so freaking expensive. And I'm a survivor of Schoology. I ended up having to do the RP twice because they just couldn't get their act together. Okay, that will be I think that'll be it. So you have a good night. I know it's much later for you, and I want to go back to bed.
Well, tell you why, because we both have to go to work tomorrow.
Yes. So we'll need to come up with a topic, and next weekend I think it's LNC meeting. So, maybe, once or twice a month. What's the date today? It is. It is
the 26th.
Today's what?
26th.
Hold on. Oh, so it's the LNC meeting next Sunday, so we won't be able to do it then. But maybe the 9th, if we can come up with it.
Alabama XCOM that day. The 8th is open.
8th is, I like us on Sundays. We'll see. Then maybe the 16th.
That would work.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We need to come up with topics. We got. I have the JC hearing.
Man, I'm a crusty old man.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night. So I'm glad we were able to do this.
You too.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Favor! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.